we're in Berwick-upon-Tweed today, and we're with Craig Rowan, who's been a client of mine for nearly a year now. He works online with me on Zoom to supercharge his energy in the morning, but he is the proud owner of the Rob Roy Boutique Hotel, and Craig's going to take us in and show us around, aren't you, Craig?
Let's go, folks.
Let's go.
Yep.
What we got here, Craig?
So this is our guest lounge. Essentially caters for around 20 guests. They can come in here, relax, have a drink if they want. And it's also geared up that if the property is fully booked for a big party, they can use this as essentially a bar area for them.
I like it. It's nice. Swanky. Swanky is the word that comes to mind.
Swanky is not a word that I know. Swanky's good, but nobody's called it swanky. I like
All
that.
right, okay,
Right?
good, good. Nice one, nice one. Where's next then?
Let's go to the bedroom.
Let's go. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Hey, Craig, how long have you been in the boutique hotel business?
So the boutique hotel business is coming up 2 years. Been in property for over 20 and then moved into guest accommodation around 4 years ago. So this is our third project and we've went from contracted accommodation to a bit more touristy and then the boutique high-end stuff with the Rob Roy.
What made you get into the hotel business?
By chance, I'll be honest. So I had a family friend who was looking to sell a B&B that they had, and they asked me if I could help move it on for them, and I started doing a bit of research. So I've lived in Berwick for years, but I never really looked at it as what I could do here. I was always looking at work in Newcastle and places like that for my projects, and I just identified there was a lack of quality beds. We've got a lot of visitors, but we didn't have a lot of quality accommodation for them. So managed to arrange a deal with that owner to buy the place myself, and the rest is history.
What makes the Rob Roy different to a Premier Inn, for example?
So we've went for a bit of added luxury. That's the difference. The majority of places will be a kind of Premier Inn level, which is fine. Absolutely, we wanted to add a bit more quality. This is an old building; it predates 1750, so we went with history with a modern twist. And you'll see from the fittings and the way that we've done it that our spec is a lot higher, and guests really appreciate that. Essentially,
nice. Craig, does this phone work?
No, it doesn't. It's more official. So the history of the modern twist. Well, I'll give you a bit of the history here. So, a previous owner, why is it called Rob Roy? Because a previous owner named it Rob Roy. They were McGregors, they were from the McGregor clan, Rob Roy McGregor. So, we wanted to keep that history in the place, a nod to it. This has been passed down from owner to owner. It is a silk programme from a gala performance in the stage show of Rob Roy. This took place in Edinburgh in 1962, and Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II was in attendance, and the King of Norway as well. And if you think of that nowadays, to have two heads of state in a city 60 miles up the road just wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
So it's a big lean on that, and that's why we've designed the place where it does link back to what it was in a bygone day with a bit more of a modern twist. This is the original guest book, one of the original guest books. It dates back to 1974.
Oh, look at that.
So again, being passed down, and again, a wonderful history of over 50 years, and it allows guests to see who's been there, what's going on. For example, for people in the northeast, they may remember this name.
Mickey Mouse.
No, I'm gonna find it though, because so one of the first guests we've got signed in is Super Mac. So Super Mac was Malcolm McDonald, who was a famous number 9 for Newcastle United, famous striker.
All right.
He stayed here. He actually owned property in Berwick as well.
Really?
And then there's from all over the world. We've had from India, South Africa, and what we've decided to do is keep it going. So now our guests can fill it in, and our nod, see a lot of guests filling it in. Myself and my wife Laura, we were the first guests to stay here, so that was pretty cool. We got to stay in our own hotel the first night, basically.
Nice.
So that's a pretty cool thing, and again, it just adds. It's a little bit different to your standard Premier Inn, Travel Lodge kind of thing, where you go in and you go out again. So
yeah, cool.
And we had to create this staircase because the old one didn't meet fire regs. So I mean, just the artwork and again a wee bit of a nod back to the the 50s and 60s, Marilyn Monroe, and the coolest James Bond has ever been. Sean Connery, the coolest guy. And then you've got his Aston Martin at the top,
Nice.
midway at the stairs there. So again, it's just that little lean into the 50s and 60s.
Yeah, nice.
This is one of our Riverview suites. This is the reason why we bought Rob Roy, and you'll see for yourself.
So I live about 90 minutes that way, basically a straight line. I was just saying to you before, like I'm South Shields to Berwick's like 90-minute drive, just under, straight road basically. So I'm very used to being beside the seaside, and I love being so. But this view is quite spectacular, mate. So tell me about this view and the pride and joy behind this room.
This is the sole reason why we took on this project, why we bought Rob Roy, is the view. So, for those that may or may not know, Berwick-upon-Tweed is an extremely historic town. It is the only walled town in the UK. Hundreds of years of history. It's changed hands between England and Scotland 13 times, so really historic. And a lot of people come and stay in Berwick. When on the other side of the water, where you get to see Berwick, you get to see that history, you get to see that walled town. I've known about this building. I used to come here as a kid to drink and play pool and stuff like that when it was a bar. And when it went on the market, I knew that this was it. And our Riverview Suites, one of them you're standing in here, is the sole reason for that and for this view.
How many rooms have you got, Craig?
So 9 bedrooms. We've got 3 on the ground floor and 6 up the stairs, with 3 suites, twin room, double. So we can cater for pretty much everyone. And the beauty is, because of the size of it, people can book the whole place. So
Nice.
you know, if it's a business get together, golfers, family gatherings, they get to take the whole place. They get the exclusive use of it, which a lot of people really like.
Because you're saying it's a come and go as you please kind of thing. You don't have to like check in out.
It
that
is.
Sort of thing.
So it's self-check-in. So we created it, or I created it, because when I travel, I like getting on with people. I love chatting, but when I travel, I just want to be by myself. And we went to Portugal and stayed at a place that done that in 2019, just before COVID. And I thought, that's a great idea. So we are on hand. We're only 5 minutes away if people want any help or assistance. And if people want to come and go as they please, they can do so as well.
Nice. I'm going to ask the question that everyone wants to know. What is the strangest thing that someone's left in a hotel room?
Well, you would expect it's sex toys. A dildo. We've had a pair of...
Did you keep it? Did you keep it?
It's in the lost and found.
With a label on it.
It might be vibrating away as we speak now. A pair of knee-high suede boots as well.
Oh, right.
One of the, like, your heart rate monitor, walking sticks, walking sticks that you would buy in, go outdoors for 30 quid. Someone wanted them posted back, cost them 45 quid to post it back abroad.
Really? Wow.
And then they must have been sentimental, and then he ordered me a bottle of whiskey to be delivered here as well. So all in, it it was fantastic of them. But phones, amazing amount of people that leave phones behind, and wallets and stuff like that as well. But the dildo was an absolute stick on. You knew at some point that was going to happen.
Amazing. You could put it in a frame and put it as,
Don't know if it fits in with history.
in case of emergency, break glass. So I've seen a few of and I know you've posted about this recently, some interesting reviews that you've had. Obviously you've had some great reviews, and sometimes, like with every business, people leave arsey reviews or reviews that don't really make much sense. What's the most oddest, insane, weird review that you've had left on the hotel?
Well, on here was one that really kind of got to me. Was early on they said it was cheap furniture and tacky, the place, which
Wow.
yeah, okay, that kind of stunned me. I would love to show them the receipts for what I paid for the stuff. On one of our other accommodation in Berwick, we had someone who rated the place down because the seagulls were too loud, and on the same review...
You mean you can't do anything about that, Craig?
I mean, amazing that the seagulls in a seaside town, who would have thought it?
Yep.
So the seagulls were too loud, and on the same review, they also reviewed an Italian restaurant in town and talked about how bad the service was. On my review.
Oh really?
Yeah.
So it's your fault the restaurant was shit.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, again, just recently we had one where it was no usable seating in the room, and there is a green velvet 2-seater couch sitting in the room. So, you know, either people are struggling with their eyesight or, you know, we work on a 90-10 rule. 90% of people are amazing.
Yeah.
And 10%, they could stay in the 7-star hotel in Dubai and still be unhappy with something. So, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. The seagull thing's funny because I live in Shields, obviously next to the sea, and I guess it's just one of them things that you get used to. Like, we've got the town hall clock, every hour it dings, I never hear it. Every seagull's in the back lane squawking every morning, never hear it. I think it's just kind of like you get used to it, don't you? But yeah, there's nothing you can do about the wildlife, right?
No, there's not. I would love to know how I could cure that, but there you go. You'd be a rich man if you could cure a seagull problem.
That's the thing. What's the most ridiculous request you've ever had from a guest, and did you manage to pull it off?
Oh, actually, you know, there hasn't been many local. I will have someone who recently stayed. They booked because a friend was staying, and they obviously hadn't read any of the information. So they asked if our restaurant was a gastropub or a bistro restaurant. And then when we pointed out that there was no restaurant, oh, right, okay. Asked if there would be someone on assistance to help with their bags, and then asked if I could find them a taxi, and then followed up with a message a minute later saying, actually, can you book me taxi to a place 9 miles away, and then have the taxi wait and then take them back. It was for a wedding. They obviously struggle with Google. That's all I can. I like. Or Google was down. I had that. That was like Google must have just went off because instead of typing that into Google, they typed it to me. So yeah, no. Again, you get people who request check-ins at 10 a.m. And then want to check out at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm like, that's it. When are we going to clean the rooms? But yeah, no. In the main, majority of people are fine. But you do get the odd person who I think still book a hotel expecting waiting on waiting on hand and foot, which may happen in some establishments still, but that's just not our setup here. You know?
I get it. Cool. So Craig has been training with myself online on TST for nearly a year now, mate, right?
Yeah.
Nearly a year. So when I first suggested getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning, sticking a camera on your laptop and training from home, what did you think?
Well, the time, ideal.
Yeah.
You know, I'm an early riser, so that when you told me the time, I was like, great. The Zoom thing, I'll be honest, I was like, I have no idea whether I'm going to like this or not. So again, I talk about being a social person, but really unsocial in certain settings, and exercising is one of them. You know, as I said to you, I've ran for years, done half marathons, and the knees have played up. So I kind of wasn't doing anything, tried the gym, and even with the headphones on, just wasn't feeling it. So I was prepared to give it a go. You know, you spoke at an event and talked in great length, and I was like, yeah, I felt the energy, the enthusiasm for it, the passion, and I was like, ask you a few questions. You are good enough to say, give it a try, and again, I use the term, the rest is history. It's been life changing, to be honest.
Yeah. What would you say since starting? Because you more or less do 4 mornings a week. 6:10 till 7, that's what online times. Obviously you live nearly 100 miles away, so it's very convenient to not have to come to the gym or get up and go to the gym. What would you say has been your 3 biggest sort of wins and insights since starting with us nearly a year ago?
First off was the accountability. You know, I love the accountability, and I got the feeling very early on that this wasn't just sign up and crack on. You know, you're making sure that everything's good. If everything's not good, if how we're getting on, you've got the weekly catch-ups if we need to, and more importantly, if you miss for a couple of days, you find out what's going on, which is great.
Hey, where you been, mate? Hello, Craig. Hello.
That's exactly it. Now, you know, not in any way, you know, aggressive. It's just it's a great reminder. And certainly, for me, is the peer group which you and I are in. It's you don't want to look. You know, everything is about how you come across. You know, you do what you say you are going to do. It's one of my favourite sayings. You know, action is the answer. So, if I said I was going to sign up and I'm doing a year, I've got to turn up. Because not only have I got to look you in the eye regularly, I've then got to look the other people in the room where Luke goes, Craig was in for a month and patched it, you know. So that helped at the start, and then just the way it made me feel, like the difference in building that routine and looking forward to training because of how I felt after it. It's addictive. Like, you know, getting over that hurdle of the rise, the being ready, having the kit laid out. I think you said it well before the training a couple of weeks ago. The hardest part is getting in front of that screen and turning it on.
Getting started.
Yeah, everything after that, it's a challenge, but the hardest part is the alarm going up, contact lenses, I should say, contact lenses in, training gear on, signed in. That's it. And I've said to you on numerous occasions at 6:10, I've been stood there going, fuck this. Like, I have in my head going, fuck this. And yet 7 o'clock, I know I'm going to feel amazing, and I do.
Yeah, buzzing. You've had some good weight loss results as well, haven't you?
I have. I mean, I am the lightest I've been since I was 21. So, you know, we're coming up 27 years.
There you go.
You know, that in itself.
And that's training from home, right? That's not even stepping foot in a gym.
No, that's not. I haven't been to the gym in almost a year. Well, I tell a lie, maybe it's a couple of times to try and fit in extra sessions, but I realised that doing the 4 with yourself, or as many, 3 or 4 a week, that's it. Like that. And again, obviously, you know, watching what I eat, cutting back on the alcohol. It's all the simple things, but it just makes you feel good. You know, the strategy around the training. So, a Saturday morning, I know why that's there, because then that makes you think about what you're doing on a Friday night. That wasn't it for me. Sundays was always my day going out, right? It has been for years. I love the Sunday afternoon with my pals, and then that just meant you got your week off to a slow start. Now with business, with family, that didn't happen a lot, but having to be online at 6:10 in the morning on a Monday morning really gets you off to a flying start.
You fairly regularly, or maybe irregular, but very importantly, deal with investors, financial situations. How important would you say it is to stay mentally sharp during the day, and how does training contribute to that on a morning?
It's everything. Look, everything. Your mental capacity for what I do is everything. You are dealing with hundreds of thousands of pounds, and you're dealing with other people's money. Now, you know, doing what I said I would is my key principle. You know, I've got a responsibility to other people, so being switched on is good. Now, I won't lie, when, you know, there's been times when I've been hitting the berry too much, partying too much. Your mental state, not only for how I was feeling, but then worrying that the whole thing was going to cave in. Now, don't get us wrong, we have ups and downs daily. You know, things are amazing, and then, oh my God, you get hit with a challenge. But if having the exercising and what that does to make me feel good physically and mentally hugely improves how I perform in business. And, you know, I'll be honest, September last year, it was about consolidation. I was like, right, I've done what I said I was going to do on a business and a plan, and we can just, you know, we can now just see things through. Because I'd got a little bit risk averse just with how my mind frame was. And, you know, within, you know, the 3 months of training with you, we agreed to our biggest project to date. We're about to complete on the purchase of an 18-bedroom hotel, which is a full renovation. So it's another level up. And I know for a fact that if I wasn't in this mindset, in this mind frame, which a lot of it comes down to the training, there's no way I would have tackled that project.
Definitely. And there's probably a lot of business owners watching this who are stressed, deal with a lot of financial issues, who are maybe pretty productive at work, but suffering energy-wise and not understanding like the importance of looking after the health and fitness and how much that can contribute to better financial freedom down the line, more clearer decisions. So what would your advice genuinely be, right, to a stressed out business owner who's potentially maybe like you before, who thinks, I haven't got time to go to a gym, I travel a lot, all the rest, because I think that they sometimes need the encouragement of the difference between training online and understanding actually it's worth giving a go because you just expressed the benefits. What would you actually say to that person?
You know, you have to try something different. If you are continuing to do the same things over and over, it's, you know, the definition of insanity. So if nothing changes, nothing changes. If you want to continue with that stress and that level, which I could have done, and blaming, you know, external factors, then that's fine. But it really is an hour of your day, and it's an hour of the day where you're really not working. You know, if you're a business owner, yes, we're on 24/7. You're thinking about it all the time.
Yeah.
But for me personally, there was absolutely zero excuse to be up and done. And if you're done by 7 a.m., you know, depending on what your scenario is, if I want, I can train and I can be showered and out the door and on with my business by 7:30 in the morning before a lot of people are even up. So that window there is a window where if you're up, you're probably scrolling. I'll be honest about that. You know, you're probably scrolling, you're probably sitting around with a cup of coffee, cup of tea, and you're spending an hour on something that isn't going to help. Scrolling just doesn't help with anything, and we all know that. So if you can give yourself the trial to do this, it's not easy, it's difficult, there's days when you don't fancy it, but I you know, speaking personally, physically I feel amazing. I look a lot better, mentally I do, and that is down to 1 hour a day, 4 days a week.
Yeah. What's the best thing about training at 6 a.m. in your underpants?
Definitely not training in my underpants. You're trying to sell your program here? Because remember, everyone can see you on Zoom as well if they want to, right? So no, I'm not training in my underpants. That's not happening.
To be fair, in one word, what is the best thing about training at 6 o'clock?
I love the fact that I know that I'm up and beating 99% of the world. That's just my mental thing, is I know that I've achieved more in that first hour of the day than what a lot of people do the whole day.
Yeah, well,
so that's what drives me.
They say win the first hour, win the last hour, you win the day, right?
Yeah.
Amazing. If the Rob Roy had a signature cocktail named after our training or an element of TST, what would it be called?
Wow. I don't know, probably a screwdriver, right? Because it just sounds fucking mental. So, and it is. It does, you know, how if you explain to someone you're gonna get into a little room in your house and jump about like a dafty for an hour, whilst other people across the country jump about like a dafty in an hour, and someone takes the piss out of you on the screen and you can't say anything back. Who would sign up for that? You know, so like that, and that's ultimately what it is.
Yeah, I love
it. You know, I love the fact that you can take pot shots at people and you know that there's no way back on this. So
I know you're all muted. Absolutely, it's that kettlebell, man. I can't get enough of it. If you were to describe me in one word, what would you say?
Infectious.
I love that. I love that in a nice way. So Craig, where can people find out more about the Rob Roy? Where can they read the reviews? Where can they book online? Where can they find out about the amazing experience?
So you will find Rob Roy at our website, which is robroyberwick.com. On Instagram, we are robroy.berwick. You can also find us through booking.com as well, which a lot of guests do. But we are cheaper if you book direct, folks. And yeah, that's it. Myself is Craig A.A. Rowan on Instagram, where, you know, we document the funny side of it. So where we, you know, look at the reviews and maybe analyse that reviews, and so we take our eyes off Rob Roy. And I'll be honest, I can be scathing on there about previous guests, and then that's where we'll start to showcase our new project as well.
Nice. Well, I'm going to come and stay a night here with Tracy very shortly, because I've been very impressed with everything and how the effort that's been put into it, the cleanliness, which is, as we say, key. And just the overall vibe and environment, mate. It's lovely, it's relaxing, it's warm, it's inviting, it's a bit more high-end, stylish. I like it. So get yourself over to the Rob Roy in Berwick. And thank you very much, Craig. Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
Hey, if you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like, drop a comment, and click the subscribe button and turn notifications on so you are notified of every new video that drops every single week here on the channel. And also, if you would like a free copy of my second book, Supercharged, the modern day guide to creating outstanding levels of energy, motivation, and self-control, then I've got it on audio right now. All you need to do is go to superchargedaudio.com, enter your details, and it's yours to your email inbox for free. Let's go. See you on the next video.